Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of our high-level breakthroughs. In case if this is new to you, we have launched a case studies initiative where we are highlighting amazing stories that are happening in our community. Today, I have a very special guest, Jeff Lopez. He's also a fellow Houstonian, and he built several companies. And today, my focus is to chat with him and kind of inspire you that are out there. Maybe you're starting out fresh with a brand new venture. Maybe you don't have your first clients yet. Maybe you're pre-revenue. And what I want to do with Jeff is just kind of highlight the good, bad, and the ugly, the struggles, the progressions, the celebrations. And we hope this is going to be helpful for you. First of all, Jeff, thanks for saying yes. It's been an incredible thing for us to kind of watch you grow in this community.
Well, thanks for thinking of me. Like when you reached out and you're like, I have this cool idea. And I was like, what is it? And you told me and I was like, me? Okay, man. So thank you. It's really cool to watch y'all grow as well.
Amazing. So who is Jeff Lopez? Like I knew Jeff right when PLUSPLUS was starting. Yeah. Like I was like, this is one of the coolest agency names out there. And shout out to Joel Kaplan. We were both part of Joel's coaching programs and things like that. And I always love leaving him respect because he connected me with a lot of great people. And Jeff, I saw you there and kind of thriving kind of as like a really strong salesperson, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
Take us back to those early days as your entrepreneur.
Honestly, I used to be a professional audio engineer in Houston, and that sounds very cool, surface level. I did work in a not so great area in Houston.
You were hearing gunshots? It's okay. You can tell us.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't know how much you want me to get into it, but yeah, literally my studio got shot up like 3 times, and not necessarily looking for me, just wrong place, wrong time. But when you work with a lot of rappers in the hip hop culture, that tends to happen. The last time I was painting our front room to make like a green screen room and had a bullet come through the wall like 6 inches away from me. And like, long story short, that just threw me for a loop. It was like, I'm going to end up, dead or possibly even in jail for something I didn't do. I don't even want to be around this environment anymore. So that night I went home and I was like, Google how to make money online. And I started
What year is this, by the way?
This is 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. So 2018, I was trying to figure that out. I started looking at all the different marketing stuff out there and decided that I wanted to run ads for small businesses. It was a grind. I thought I was just going to pick it up and be able to walk into businesses because every business needs this. A couple things I didn't realize was I had a little twang to how I spoke because, I'd been working in the hip hop world for a while. I probably didn't dress like the greatest. I was literally getting kicked out of businesses. And I feel like I'm running on this short fuse because again, things are getting crazy at the studio, but I'm trying to make this new life for me. So long story short, I ended up taking a loan from my ex-girlfriend's dad at the time. I was like, dude, I'm the studios got shot up 3 times. This last time was way too close for comfort. Can you just give me enough money? I can go move back in with my grandma in Kansas, which is not ideal conditions at 30 years old. I was literally sleeping on a couch in my grandparents' basement, trying to figure this marketing thing out. I remember going to, was there. I remember going to a coffee shop or a donut shop because it was the only place in Wichita, Kansas that had Wi-Fi 24/7. And we didn't have great internet at my grandma's house. I'd have to go there every night trying to figure this stuff out. And I was reaching out to all these different businesses. And in February 12th, I remember I literally cried. I got my first client that I built a funnel for. Next day, I got my first actual ads client for $2,500 a month. And it was insane because my car was 2 weeks away from getting repossessed. I was literally sleeping on a couch no bigger than this. And my mom would give me $20 every few days for gas station food. It was a pretty crappy scenario at 30 years old. Fast forward, a month or so, I could not lose that client. So I was calling him every day, checking in, making sure the ads worked. It worked. I asked for my first referral. He referred me somebody else, started getting good results for him. And I'm like, okay, I might have something here. Asked for another referral and they invited me to come speak at a chiropractic event for 7- and 8-figure earning chiropractors. And I'll tell you, I don't get super nervous, but that, man, I was so nervous. My lips were sticking to my gums. My mouth was so dry, speaking in front of these people. They're like, teach us what to look for when hiring a marketing company. And they didn't know, I only had 2 clients and just started this marketing thing. But after that, I got 10 clients in a week, had my first $30,000 week, which is insane. So much so my mom thought I was doing something illegal. My bank ran my credit because they thought I was doing something very high risk. Square, the payment processor, shut me down. Had to move to Stripe. And then from there, I just really started learning and like honing in the agency game. So in a nutshell, definitely pick apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So 2018,
Uh-huh.
you're like, I don't want to get shot up anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna kind of chase and research after the digital marketing space.
Mhm.
So 2018, I want to say this is like pre-high level. This is pre-AI of what we see today.
Mhm.
Pre, a lot of these cool support systems and integrations and brands around high level as
Yeah.
well. So help us understand who Jeff Lopez is at this point. You're a new entrepreneur. What are you emotionally feeling? Are you like nervous? You're like, I got to keep this client no matter what happens.
All of the above, really. Like when I got that first client, like I said, it really helped. I spent all the money I had, like catching up my car payment, and then the rest. And I even borrowed money from Ian to buy my first course because again, like I was so nervous to lose this client. Like my mom doesn't make a ton of money, which again, shout out you guys. Like I give her all my high level affiliate commission now, so she doesn't have to work. So like that in itself is a huge blessing. But like I could not lose that client. So I was like trying to consume everything I could. And there was like Facebook groups. I was learning from like the Joel Kaplans, the Jeff Millers. But you're right. There wasn't like the ecosystem. High level, I just started hearing about it. But I was like using like literally 9 different softwares. Like when you guys say duct taping softwares together, like that was me, like trying to figure this stuff out. And it sounded really cool, like going from like 1 client to 2 to like 10. And then within like 6 months, we had over 30 clients. But I was like piecing all this stuff together. It was chaos, man. Like it was very stressful. But
And you were focused on chiropractors out the gate?
I was trying to get a client anywhere I could, man. I was reaching out to nail salons, sub shops, pizza shops, cryotherapy, chiropractic. Like I was like, I just know these ads things can work for like anybody. I mean, there's certain clients I'd go after today versus then, but like I was just like, this beats bullets. Like so like I was literally walking into every type of business that I could. I just happened the first person that ever gave me a shot was a guy by the name of Dr. Hoover, which is crazy because he messaged me this morning and I haven't talked to him in like a year or two. So so serendipitous. But he gave me a shot. He's like, can you run ads for this red light therapy body contouring thing? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Hang up the call, like he pays the invoice. Like I said, I cried because it was like so long trying to get that first client. But at the same time, I was terrified because I was like, I don't know what the hell red light therapy is. Like, I've never ran an ad campaign in my life. Like, that imposter syndrome was like crazy. So, but I mean, I'm the type of person like, if I see somebody else is doing it, it's like, man, if they can do it, I can do it. And I just always had that in the back of my head, and I was going to figure it out by any means necessary.
So walk us through how you entered 2019.
So 2019, I got my first client February 12th. Just a little build. February 13th, first actual client. And I was trying to learn everything. And can I shout out somebody on here? Can I shout out David Murillo? He started telling me about high level. Literally, I think it was.
David's a great guy.
Yeah, he put me on a high level, and it was like perfect timing because I was trying to figure it out. And like I said, it was easy getting clients because I had somebody that was referring them. Like another chiropractor was like, hey, this guy's great. I'm taking like 5-6 minute sales calls, and they're like, yeah, send me an invoice. And I'm like, what is life right now? Like, but then like fulfilling it on the back end was like the scariest part ever. Like late nights at coffee shops trying to figure this stuff out. And then I found David was talking about high level, and honestly, you guys, I lost $40,000 the month after I had my biggest month ever because I was spending so much time trying to build and fulfill that I forgot to bill. It was like 10, 11 clients, like $36,000 that I forgot to bill. And I didn't want to go back to them like, hey, Paulson, sorry, I forgot to bill you last month. Can I bill you twice? I just ate it. But after that, I figured out how to make things super scalable with high level. But like I said, it was just nonstop. I don't remember anything else about 2019 other than running ads. Like, no joke, like nothing other than running ads and figuring this stuff out and being at Hertz Donuts like every single night.
Wow. And what gave you the confidence at the time to continue acquiring new clients? Or like what made you feel like, okay, you know what? I can do this again. I can do this again. I can do this again.
Yeah, so my belief's like, if I can do it once, I can do it multiple times. So if I get it once and then I'm able to recreate it once after that, so twice, I'm super confident. Like to me, it's like, okay, if I can make it work twice, I can make it work for anybody. And I just kind of carried that confidence on to the next sales call, into the, doing it. I'm also the type, like, you probably like me, like, you don't want to let something beat you. And it's like, even if it's tough, I'm gonna figure this thing out. That's just
There's
who
a
I am.
competitive side
Yeah,
to
yeah,
being an entrepreneur, right?
yeah. And then I keep seeing all these other people, like, $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month. The Joel Kaplan's $200,000 a month, and I'm like, if these guys can do that, I can do a little bit of that, and that's just what like kept driving me.
I love it. So 2019, you're focused on fulfillment, essentially. You're
Mhm.
focused on clients that come your way, referral based. Did you have a team at this point, or like, are you one man Marine Corps? You
So
know,
there was just me and an email address that was my assistant. So I was kind of
was it like
faking it.
random, like Ashley at plusplus.com?
Well, it was funny. It was my friend at the time was named Lisa, so
Okay,
I named
okay.
the assistant Lisa, which actually she ended up being my first employee because,
Oh,
like,
perfect.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of like had planned that, like, when I get to the point where I can hire somebody, like, I'll have you help me.
Nice.
So we were using the name Lisa, and these emails would come from Jeff, disguised as Lisa, onboarding these clients until I got to the point where I could bring her on, and then it was us two, and then I was in other communities, Facebook group communities, and I found this guy by the name of Josh Alger. So shout out him.
Yeah.
He was one. I don't like calling people students, like, 'cause we're all doing the same thing. Like, he was like a
Yeah.
peer, but learning from me. And I was like, man, he's really driven. So we hired him to help with like the back end because the fulfillment was getting crazy. Because again, when you have referrals coming in, easiest sales calls ever, and we were bringing on a bunch of clients per week. So
Yeah.
he started helping me.
Yeah, let's pause for a second. I know you as a sales guy.
Uh-huh.
So, like, can you unpack how you develop those sales skills? And we'll go back to the agency for a second. Where did you build up the sales acumen?
So I've been in sales my whole life. My dad, big sales guy. So it's kind of conditioned throughout the years. But like I was working at Best Buy and Office Depot, and like they had these little contests for like selling protection plans. They were like PRPs and PPPs. And I was beating like all the full-time guys that it was like their career job, selling that, just because I'm competitive. I just want to be the best at like whatever I do. And that's not like a cocky thing. It's just like, I don't ever want to be second. So I would do that. And then I got hired on at Sprint because somebody came in and saw how good I was like selling printers and like protection plans, and knew like that wasn't like a passion of mine. Like, you can make a lot of money selling phones.
Yeah. This is after the days of like Razors and Blackberries.
This is the days of like the first touchscreen phones. It's like I'm dating myself now. But yeah, so they like invited me to come work, and I started selling phones. And at that time, I was 18 because you had to be 18 to work there. But I started making like $90,000 a year at like 18 years old in Kansas. Like, I felt like the mayor. Like, that. It felt like I was making more money than like pretty much anybody.
So you develop sales skills at a young age,
Mhm.
doing all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, and then it transitioned to. It was funny. I had a conversation at like Sprint, and it was like a third-party company, like selling Sprint. But ranked my way up to manager. I was the youngest manager in the history of the company at that time. And then they asked me about being district manager. And it was a conversation that probably changed the trajectory of my life. They said, yeah, if we're going to consider you for this position, you got to be willing to move at the drop of a pin. If we want you in California, you got to go to California. If we want you in Ohio, we got to put you in Ohio. And no offense to Ohio, but as soon as they said that, I was like, I don't want to end up in Ohio. Like, and not that Kansas is much better, but when they said that, I started looking at other things, and I actually found like a small like license/franchise opportunity to make my own accessory or cell phone accessory stores. So I opened some kiosks in some malls, and that's probably where I learned the brunt of my sales skills. Because like I was at the kiosk, the place that you like try to fake like you're on the phone so they don't talk to you when you walk by. Like, I had to develop these pitches to like get people curious enough to stop, and then show them something, and then sell them. And in that, we ended up being like the best performing location month one with that. But again, like, the mall was brutal, like working at a kiosk. So I learned probably most of my sales skills there.
I love that. So let's go back to the agency. Do you still handle sales for what the agency is, or?
Yeah, so I do a little bit of them. I'm actually, I got a new business partner. He's behind the scenes here, but we've trained him up. He like sells just like me now, and he's literally closing $10,000-$15,000 deals on his own. And it's probably one of the coolest feelings ever. But I will step in if somebody specifically requests to talk to me, because I do have a pretty good reputation in the space that we're in. So sometimes we have history and they only want to deal with me. So I'll handle those sales still.
Gotcha. Love it. So 2019, February, you first started having your initial big months.
Yeah.
Forgot to bill the clients.
Yeah.
Took a L.
Huge L.
Then you're like, don't worry about it. We'll go back and resume to the retainers.
Hmm.
Walk us through that whole experience and like what are the systems that you kind of put together to kind of, safe create that safety mechanism for
Yeah.
yourself?
So what happened for me is I started like getting a lot of clients so fast that I mean I only signed up with Square as a payment processor, and it's not the Square that's out there today that has like all these cool features and stuff. Like I had to manually like, send invoices like every time. There was no like recurring subscription, so I was using that, and that was kind of a big issue. And also systems, that word I probably didn't even know what that meant until like 2020. I was just like winging everything. Um, So I was using Square, Zapier. So I was using that and a bunch of other softwares. Like I found a text messaging one, and I'd literally just go through like the Zapier app connection area where like, okay, what does this do? And like trying to figure out, what I could integrate into my workflow. And then I had what I called at the time, the Super Zap, where I would use that and I would copy and paste and then just like make these new integrations and stuff for each client. But that was the extent of my systems. Other than that, it was like the Wild West. Like,
So walk us through the end of 2019.
Mhm.
Like what is happening there? What is 2020 what is that? What is starting to look like?
yeah, so toward the end of 2019 got really cool and interesting. Because again, we probably hit our biggest month. I think it was August of 2019. And then from there, I found a new vein. So like I was getting referrals from a specific doc that would refer a bunch of people. From there, I was like, what's next? And I worked my way
And
up
how many clients were you at by August 2019?
a little over 30.
A little over 30.
Yeah.
And how much revenue were you guys at top line?
Roughly around $93,000 to $96,000 a
Got it.
month,
Got it.
which is crazy.
And you had a big team by then or no?
By then, it was just two and a part time, so
Got it.
two and a
Okay,
half
okay.
people.
Okay, so walk us through kind of the epiphany you had and into 2020.
Gotcha. Yeah. So when we got all those clients and everything, it was cool, but it was still chaotic. Like that sounds really cool and really lean, but at that time there wasn't a high level type platform that we were as familiar with yet. Like we were just starting to learn high level.
Yeah, we're only maybe 4 months old. I
Yeah,
would
like
say. Yeah.
and it's very different high level than it is today. Like we've grown along with you, which is really cool. But we were trying to figure that out, but then also it was just getting so chaotic, and we had made a connection with a distributor that was going to put us in front of even more docs. So then we were starting to figure out like who else can we hire, and I think around that time is when we brought on Ian. We started to find another person just to kind of fulfill like a client facing side, like customer support reps. And I was really just trying to kind of buy back my time because I was the guy that was doing all the sales. I was the guy that, if campaigns were bombing or good, whatever, like I was the communication in the front facing side. So I was trying to really offload that for the rest of 2019 going into 2020. Like my goal was, how do I free up my time so I can just focus on sales?
Got it. And the whole time, the way clients were finding you is through referrals.
Not a dime on ads or anything. Yeah, just
Wow.
strictly referrals. Yeah.
Got it. And why are these docs referring to you? Like, are they being incentivized? Is there a system there? Is there?
They absolutely were being incentivized.
Okay.
So my first client, again, he knows now. I told him like a few years later that he was my first client, but then he didn't know. But it was for a particular type of red light therapy device. And I was like, to me, if I can recreate success, it's like, how do I just copy and paste that? So I was asking for referrals, and he knew all the other providers that had this specific system. And it got to a point where I was like, hey, like you referred somebody and it was like the easiest sales call ever. I'm going to raise my prices, but that way I can pay you $1,000 every single time that you send somebody. And as soon as I did that, I mean, I sent this guy tons of money. I mean, I bought him a golf cart. Like, I mean, he was getting tons of referrals, but like, it's funny because like probably for 3 or 4 years, people thought that I worked for him because like I even put him in my sales videos, and he would just talk to everybody for me and then send them my way. So he was definitely incentivized.
Yeah.
But again, we worked very closely together for a while.
Yeah. And this business model is pretty common, right? You see a lot of agencies leveraging a partnership or a client that becomes the rising star, then they become the face of the brand.
Yeah.
Like this is not uncommon. So walk us through what you did from then to kind of growing the business in 2020. Did you build up new profiles? Did you have more referral partners? Like what did you do to scale?
Yeah, so we started to hit like real scale when I exhausted probably most of the contacts that he had in a good way. And then from there, like I said, we found a relationship by kind of going further up the ladder and going to, okay, where'd you buy your system from? And then they got me in touch with a distributor out in California. Same thing. I'm like, hey, I've been paying $1,000 per referral. I'll pay you $1,000, each time you refer somebody. And they were like, game on. So they started doing like little mini, I wouldn't call them webinars. They weren't structured like that, but like they had a Facebook group. They would, send out emails and then do little trainings. And they started sending a bunch of people to us that way. And then I'm a little hazy on the time frames, but between 2020 and 2021, I worked my way from the distributor to the actual manufacturer. Because by this time, like I'd worked with probably 150 clients specifically for this one device, red light therapy. And I just called up the manufacturer and I was like, dude, I'm like crushing it for you guys. Like, this doc? They're like, oh yeah, that's one of our best docs. I was like, I've been running his marketing for like 3 years now. I was like, this doc? Okay, yeah, we've been running his marketing, et cetera, et cetera. They're like, yeah, we've heard about you. Like some of our best docs are using you. And I was like, well, what do we got to do to like integrate me further in what you guys are doing? And so much so, like they love the idea that we raised the price of the system so they could pay to have me do the marketing for the first 1 to 2 months for every new client they brought on because they knew they'd have a really good start. So, I mean, I literally did not have to prospect for like 3 or 4 years because every time they sold a system, I automatically got paid and I ran the marketing. And then when you give good results, people don't want to lose you or leave you. So.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it was pretty monopolized. It sounds bad, but it was really good for everybody. So.
Yeah, everybody's eating. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a share of the pie. And as long as you're delivering results to the clients.
Exactly. And we were obsessed over that. So.
You're good to go. So when did you find HighLevel that you were like, okay, let me integrate the HighLevel piece to this relationship?
Yeah, so it had to have been May, June, or July of 2019 that I remember the conversation. I just don't remember the date, but I remember this little tiny, I moved from my grandma's house, I upgraded to my friend's house in Texas because I wanted to go back to Texas. But he had this little kitchen breakfast table. It was like sit 2 people. But I remember hopping on a Zoom call with David Murillo. So again, shout out him. And I talked to him for a while. He gave me a whole personal masterclass on this thing. And I didn't know anything about affiliates. Now it makes sense, because I'm his affiliate. But he showed me, and then I didn't use it for probably 2 or 3 months because I was so busy, and it's like putting fires out rather than like having time to learn. So I started really learning HighLevel probably the end of 2019. After that whole billing debacle, it was like, okay, we need better systems. How do we solve this? And HighLevel was able to replace a lot of that stuff, make it easier. So I'd say between September and December of 2019 is when we really started getting aggressive with building in HighLevel. And that changed everything. That allowed us to actually scale better and work with the manufacturer. Because before you guys had it like a kind of a native option, we had it to where somebody would fill out an intake form at the time, type form. It would send a zap and it would create their account, load the snapshot. Yeah. I was custom value and stuff before I heard, literally everything before I heard a lot of people doing it, to where my team would just go in with the intake form, punch in a few things like hours. And then, we up and running in 30 minutes. It was like, I cannot tell you the level of excitement when that worked the first time. It was game changer.
Yeah. So 2020, you're well past, I would assume, 100K a month.
Yeah.
Right? What is the next milestone in the business? Did you hire more people? Did you find funds to invest somewhere else? What's happening in 2020?
Yeah. So, and again, let me try to declutter the time frames. So 2020, I think that's pandemic. So that happened right after we started rocking with the distributor and everything. People are coming, and then the pandemic was crazy. I wouldn't say it crushed us or anything like that, but nobody knew what was going on.
Uncertain time.
Yeah, and so a lot of people were like, hey, we don't know what's going on. We're going to stop marketing, and we probably offloaded 30 to 40% of our clients just because they were scared. And at that time, there was another guy that was operating within the same industry that had learned from me that was, I would say, probably my biggest competitor. And COVID, nobody knew what was going on. So we're like, hey, let's put together some trainings, or we did our own little summit for the first time where we brought in our best docs and taught the other docs and just tried to keep them not terrified of what was going on. So we did that for, it was probably 90 days just to try to maintain clients. And then people started coming back slowly but surely. And then from there, we actually ended up partnering up and just kind of merging the companies to where, it's like, dude, you're using a lot of our stuff anyways. We might as well just work together and make this thing better. So he had VAs, I had customer support reps. So it's kind of like a match made in heaven. And then from there, we just started tackling more of the working with the manufacturer and stuff. And again, that's probably going into late 2020, 2021 when we really started getting aggressive. And then I'm trying to think. And then we started a coaching program because, once we had all those clients, a thing that we started seeing that was kind of a trend is
And this is coaching for chiropractors.
for the chiropractor selling body contouring with red light therapy.
Gotcha.
So we had all those clients and it was great, and we were even getting better results for most of them. But then we found a new problem was no matter how good your results are, if clients can't close them, they don't blame themselves. It's like every external variable other than themselves. And they were coming back like, hey, we got to drop you because, these leads suck, they're low quality, whatever. And at that time, because we had the team, the infrastructure, I was like, you know what, let me tackle this sales thing. I actually went on a kind of a cross-country tour and visited my best locations. And I'm like just trying to learn from them. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you crushing it? Why have you guys been in business so long, et cetera? And I got this list of everything that they were doing, and I turned it into a coaching program where I would teach the docs how to sell. Because then if I could teach them how to sell, they're making more money, they keep us longer. So we ran that for a few years. I mean, I still do coaching on a weekly basis for these docs. So
That's incredible. So in 2021, you've kind of partnered up with the previous competitor.
Yeah.
Now you guys are kind of I don't want to say monopolized, but you're
that's the word that comes to mind. Yeah.
You're controlling the flow of the industry in a way. What happens next? Because from what I know, you ended up exiting the agency, right?
Yeah.
Or you sold it, or what happened?
Yeah,
Like,
so
what's happened?
long story short, and again, the timelines are the only thing, like a little hazy, but it's between 2021, 2022, and maybe early 2023. The sales training went crazy, and that was my first time ever charging high ticket for something. We were charging between $6,000 and $10,000 for this training.
Outside of the monthly retainers.
Outside of the monthly retainer. So they're paying us, and then it's like, oh, you want to learn how to actually close the people that are coming in. And then I created a whole training protocol for the device manufacturer to where it was what was taught when somebody bought a system. And we started rolling that out because they'd get marketing, they'd get sales training, and we'd have these insane case studies like with the clients that were coming in now.
Wow.
So we started rolling it out to more and more people, and that got big. This is going to sound crazy. The next evolution, though, was these docs were selling these packages, but then they're like, okay, how do I get them even better results or better outcomes? What supplements should I be using? And at the time, you could ask 10 different docs what supplements they'd use with their protocols. You'd have 10 different answers. So I was like, you know what? It sounds like we need a supplement company. So I partnered up with one of the docs that was really big into supplements and the device manufacturer themselves, and we created our own supplement line to then roll out to the docs, literally over 600 docs in a very short time. So when you say monopolize, that usually has a negative connotation, but that's the only word I can think of as well, because
you're controlling the assembly line.
We controlled the ecosystem. So somebody buys a red light therapy device, they start with our marketing, they start with our sales training. We're like, sell these packages, use this package of supplements that goes hand in hand with it, get these outcomes, et cetera. And literally people are buying supplements from us, they're buying coaching from us, they're buying ads from us. And we stopped focusing so much on literally going out and trying to get clients because that would naturally happen. And then I started bringing in like different coaches and stuff for the supplements, and coaches just slowly start to replace me in the coaching program. So that's what we were focused on probably till, I think it was probably 2023, 2024. We were just running that play for a long time. So.
Wow. And so you had the coaching side, you had the agency services, and you're controlling the assembly line. So why leave that and walk away or exit? Like why make a change?
Yeah, so it's always like the hindsight's always like 2020. And I'm not saying like I made a wrong choice at all. So in running the ad agency, biggest issue, like I said, was two things. People either couldn't sell. We solved that by teaching them how to sell, and not as bad as it sounds, like pretty much forcing our best clients to go with the coaching program. I mean, we guaranteed they'd have like X amount of revenue, so it was a win-win for them. But once we started doing that, the other thing then became, okay, I'm getting leads, I'm closing, we're selling high-ticket packages, but Jeff, only 70, 80% of these people that opt in from these ads are actually ever coming in. So, and this is kind of to preface why the exit. We were hiring call centers. I mean, we tried international, we tried domestic, which was like up to $2,500 per location per month. Absolutely insane. And I even had 2 stateside people I was paying $60,000 a year to follow up with leads because I knew my clients wouldn't. So Fast forward to,
So you're trying to provide sales as a service.
we were trying to, yeah, just to close more leads, to get more people through the door, like to better the conversion rate. But from there, it would only work so well because like the thing we found with VAs, call centers, even domestic ones is like they're never going to care about your client's business as much as they do. They were still the domestic ones were still off by like 7. They didn't work weekends, so it was like it's almost not necessarily worth it. But then when I brought in Charles back there, he's like, "What about AI?" And you know, I'm one of those old dogs you can't teach new tricks to, and I'm just like, it was a buzzword to me at the time. It's like, yeah, I knew ChatGPT a little bit. And I was like, nah, we don't have time. We have too many clients. That would be like trying to turn around a cruise ship, like trying to implement AI and it's still like unknown. But he's like, dude, let me do it. He's like, you know, let me try it.
2024.
2024, yeah. So he's like, let me do it. Let me try it. And I was like, okay. I was like, but it's your ass. Like if it doesn't work, like I'm gonna give you one of my best clients. Do not make them mad. But we ran the AI and it was getting crazy results. Like it was booking appointments and collecting prepaid for the appointment, which was insane. So from there,
I assume you used HighLevel for this.
Oh yeah, everything's built on the backbone of HighLevel. But we were using that and we got great results. So then we did a little webinar to our clients, got 21 more clients on AI, which was an upsell in like 3 weeks. And then from there, I mean, if anybody knows me, like if I'm excited about something, I'm chatting about it. So I overshare always. But I was just like in passing with family or friends and I'm like, yeah, we just put this like AI and it's talking to the leads and like nobody, like they're like, what? It's talking to the leads? Like you're getting them to pay? And then they were like, oh, do you think that would work for my daycare? Do you think that would work for my electric company? And at first, like I was so super niche and like loving my lane. Like it was like, I didn't want to touch it, but then they're like, dude, please, like, can we just try this? So we started trying it with these other businesses and it was working. We're closing Tesla supercharger installs with electric companies, and I don't even know how like any of that stuff works. We're helping, you know, daycares book more tours for children to come and, you know, be students at the daycare or whatnot. And I was like, yo, this AI thing is like, this is like, to me, it's like, this is the internet all over again. I was like, I want to be one of those people that are like early on with this AI thing. Because a few years from now, it's going to be like oxygen. It's like, you don't say, oh, I do internet marketing. It's like, duh, you use the internet. It's just like, and you're not going to say, oh, I do AI stuff. It's like, people are going to just assume you're using AI. But right now, I feel like it's such a untapped market. I was like, I got to offload as much as I can to focus on this. Because I mean, we didn't want to do the work. And when we don't want to do work, we quote really high prices. So we're like, yeah, $10,000 we'll install it. $15,000 we'll install it. And they were like, yeah, cool. One dude thought we said $30,000 on a sales call and said, yeah. And I was like, no. I was like, it's just $15,000. I was like, we'll let you pay that if you want. But then when I saw that, I was like, and this is a big insurance brokerage. And I'm like, dude, like this, there's like no cap on this right now. Like nobody's doing it. So like we have almost a monopoly here as well because nobody knows what they're doing with it. And so I talked to my partner in the agency and I was like, I really think I want to pursue this AI thing. Like, and I tried to do both. And I'm not the type of person that can do both. Like whether
it's
that's
hard to stand on two boats at the same time.
Yeah, and just the mindset shift of like, you know, working with chiropractors and red light therapy and weight loss to electric companies, daycares, or like just installing AI systems, it was tough. And like it was like I was doing worse work in the agency and like I didn't feel right about it. So I was like, dude, I gotta get out of here. Like, you know, if we were to sell this business, like that would be a miracle. Like I just joked around. He's like, dude, he's like, okay. And then he comes back a couple weeks later. He's like, so if I were to buy the business from you, or like buy you out, he's like, you would do that? And then it took like a few months and I was like, shoot, do I really want to do that? But we ended up, you know, coming to an agreement and yeah, sold my share of the agency to him, and went full force into AI and literally haven't looked back. I mean, it's been
so
incredible.
When you left, and that's PLUSPLUS.
So I sold my book of clients.
Okay, gotcha.
PLUSPLUS is I'm taking
That's
that to the
brand.
casket. Yeah,
your tombstone's
tatted.
Gonna have two pluses on
literally.
it. I know it. Yeah. So you let go of the agency side. Mm-hmm. How many clients were y'all at when you walked away from that?
Between 130 and 142 is like a number that sticks in my head. So like pretty hefty agency.
Wow. And what kind of revenue were you guys doing?
About 150 to 175,000 given any month.
And what was the transition like? Did the you walking away affect the team members, the clients? Was it like, Jeff, you're my marketer, no one else? You know, what was
all of the above. It was a crazy series of emotions. Because also the partner had different kind of vision of like, wanting to run more of a lean agency and not have so many stateside people versus I was like stateside, white glove customer service, like, the hours my clients are working, I want to have, coverage.
Right.
So one of the first things, like, he's like, if we sell this, if you're going to get this much, then we need to get rid of the team. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want you to do it because I don't want like to get rid of the agency. And the first thing you do is like, take an axe to everybody. It's like, let me do it. So I had to go through that. That was probably emotionally one of the toughest things that I've done because people put their trust in me for so long. But at the same time, they knew like I wasn't in love with what I was doing anymore. And like my attention was elsewhere. So I had to, do that. Then had let the clients know and the medical device manufacturer know. And yeah, that was like almost a revolt because people like loved Jeff. Like it was like, as cool as it sounds, but it was just like they didn't want to work with somebody else if it wasn't me, or like if I was gonna pawn them off onto somebody else. And still to this day, like there's still clients that somehow don't know. They're like, oh, I didn't even know you're not running my marketing anymore. And I'm just like, how? We sent out so many emails. We called everybody. But yeah, so there was a lot of people that weren't necessarily happy with the change because my partner at the time is a very silent partner. He was more like operations side, and then I was like I always say I'm the clapping monkey getting attention. But so when that happened, it was different. I got a lot of messages for many months. People understood.
How did it like emotionally kind of sit with you? Like I'm sure that was a very hard period of entrepreneurship.
It really was. I mean, like I said, from getting rid of the team, and then also like we didn't get rid of the agency because it wasn't doing well. Like, some people pivot because things aren't going right. Things were going as right as an agency can go. Like, I mean, again, like we were in talks with the manufacturer. Like they had a sheet on the table about like percentage of equity in this company. And like, I literally walked away from all of this because I saw the opportunity being bigger with AI. And it's one of those things like, if you've ever been in a relationship and like, you don't want to break up with the person, and then you finally do it. And then you're like, dang, I made a horrible like decision. Like it was that for honestly many months because jumping into the AI, I mean, it wasn't all like smiles and rainbows. Like we were trying to figure it out because it was still pretty uncharted territories. There's not a lot of resources you could find at the time. And there were those days that I wake up and like, what did I do? Like I messed up. Like, but ultimately it ended up being the best choice for everybody. And like I said, we're happy now, but many sleepless nights, many as cheesy as it sounds, man. I did shed a few tears like a few times because when you're that deep into something, and then just kind of walking away, it's like it's just weird. Like it's a void in you and a void in your client's life as well. So it was really weird.
So what's the difference between running an agency versus now like a SAS-AI company?
So a few things. The really cool thing about starting this AI agency is I get to take all the knowledge from running the previous agency with me. And there was many things that like we were so deep into it, I couldn't just not do those things. For instance, we were very, very, very client facing, very communicative. And I still advocate for that, but to a fault. Like we were just way too involved with our clients' businesses to where like we kind of conditioned them to need us like very needy. Versus going into the AI agency, because it's AI, because it's very tech-based, we built out a little bit more of an infrastructure to handle client support and stuff like that. And like my goal was to kind of be, sell, but also be the Wizard of Oz after that. Like you're not expecting to talk to Jeff for everything because that was eating up a ton of my time in that agency. But it's been a lot easier because the AI does a lot of the heavy lifting. And when we started our AI agency, I actually was like, one, I had a non-compete to not do ads. So like, I wasn't going to do ads in my industry for a while. But two, I was also like, I don't want to run people's ads. Like, it's like, you get to that point of doing anything and you try to do, or you start to do something different. You just naturally, as bad as it sounds, you like develop almost this like resentment for that. And you just don't want to touch it. And you want to completely move into something else.
You get tired.
Yeah.
You get tired of the same recipe.
That's a really good way to put it, man. Because I talked to a lot of business owners, same type of thing. Like they just want to completely get out of that. And that's what it was. So we built the business on just providing AI follow-up to people that were already running ads. So I didn't have to hear about, oh, my ads aren't performing, my ad account got restricted or anything like that. It was truly as long as they were getting traffic, our AI was doing the job. And like our support tickets are like very minimal. Like with 42, 43 clients right now, we get like 3 to 4 support tickets a month because like once it's trained, it's like, it just works.
So when did you start the business? in 2024, end of 2024?
Yeah, October 28th, 2024. I remember because we had just come off of, was it 2023 or 2024? Three, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way it actually started was we came up to Level Up Summit. My wife's cousin's now my new business partner, but he was working construction, doing mobile detailing, and selling life insurance. And I'm like, you could just tell when somebody has it, like that drive. And I was like, this dude's gonna be great, whatever he does. But he's like breaking his back right now, like doing all this crazy work. And I was like, I'm so busy with the agency.
He's doing a great job at it.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I'm so busy with the agency, like I can't stop to teach you. Like it would cost me more money to teach you, and that's not something we're willing to do. So I brought him out to Level Up. He fell in love with the SaaS idea, internet marketing, like, you know, the energy's crazy here. So we go back and I was like, you know, I'm in a position where I don't have time, but I have money, I have resources. Like I'll pay to start this new company for you. And we started trying to run the SaaS play and doing the things like we had heard about at Level Up. And when I say I just financed it, but he wasn't getting it going. And throughout that time frame, he was learning stuff. And that was when he was like, hey, can I try the AI with a client? We did that, it worked. So fast forward a year, I mean, that company made like no revenue, $97 for like the first year, like so something crazy, very minute. But fast forward a year when we started getting the AI going, that's when things started to take off and I started to make that exit. And so end of 2024 is like when I would say it started, but technically, I mean, we had it for a year before that, it just wasn't doing anything. But as soon as we saw the AI start to take off, I mean, we started going crazy, talking to every business we could.
Yeah.
And
so what exactly is your offer?
so my offer is we provide a one-bot solution. So basically, we do AI follow-up for your offer for ads, for basically one offer. That's it. Like so many people like sell it, like let me put it on the website, this, that. We basically go to a client and say, hey, Paulson, I see you're running ads on Facebook, but you're probably getting leads, but they're not converting into paid customers as much as you'd like. Is that right? Okay, cool. Well, we have this follow-up solution where you don't have to do it. It will talk 24/7 and it'll be better than your best salesperson. And if we can just get you one more job per month, what would that be worth to you? Okay, cool. Well, it's only $5,000 a month, or not a month, $5,000 to set it up, $1,000 a month. Or with roofers, for instance, we charge quite a bit more. But all I'm doing is following up with their leads from the traffic they're already getting. I don't work with businesses that don't already have traffic because I want to put myself in as much of a winning situation as I can. I'm trying to be on the 1 yard line, about to hit the touchdown. So
I love it. So let's unpack this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You walked away from the other agency. You then ended up starting a AI employee company, essentially. Literally. And what made you choose HighLevel for the solutions? Like, why stick on with HighLevel?
First off, that term monopoly is a great one. No, honestly, I mean, you guys have done such a great job, and not just because, like, this would be what I would tell a friend if they were asking me why HighLevel.
Not just because we're on a podcast.
No, literally, yeah. Like it's one of those things. Like, I mean, you guys have done so great at listening to customers' feedback and marketers in particular. You basically took all the other softwares that I had and made them obsolete because I can do everything within one platform. The other thing, again, monopoly is probably the best term, but in a good way. Like with all due respect, every client that we work with these days, especially if they're running ads, they're already familiar with HighLevel. So it's like there's not much of a learning curve at all. It's like I just plug into what you're already doing, and if you for some reason live under a rock and don't know what HighLevel is, we'll provide that to you. But it just makes everything easy. And I'm a big advocate for I did everything the hard way. I did all the different softwares. Like I've never been the person that's cost conscious. I mean, I was when I was broke as hell, but once we had resources, I don't care how many softwares or whatever it takes to get you the result that's the best possible result for you. I'm gonna do that. But over the years, HighLevel has been that thing that gets me the best results for my clients. And it's simple. And I say if it's simple, it's scalable, and it sells like hotcakes.
Yeah. So going from 0 to 40 customers, you said, right? Mm-hmm. What was that like? What is the client acquisition looking like?
Yeah.
It's a different chapter, right? You don't have a manufacturer behind you, a distributor behind you, a referral partner behind you. It's a new landscape.
Yeah. So I'll be honest, like the cheat code we had in the beginning was I got to roll it out to my existing clients. Like I said, we tried it on one. Once I have one good person, if I believe in it and I know it works, all I got to do is talk to other people about it. So we did like a mini webinar. We got, I think it was 21 clients in a weekend. So we went from like 1 to 22 clients very, very quickly. And then from there, like I said, we just had people that were just hearing about what I was doing. And then I was also starting to post more, and people were like, "Oh, do you think you could do that for me?" I mean, I literally reached out to a guy that I saw he was posting on top of roofs, and I'm like, "Dude, I think we could do this for roofs. Like, it's like you're making a lot of cool content. Can I just show you something?" And the cool thing was, I hopped on with this guy. I'm 37 years old. I know I probably look, maybe, hopefully I look younger, but I haven't talked to this guy since high school. When we were in high school together, we've been friends on Facebook, but that's like the extent of the relationship the last 20 years. And I get on a call with him, and like I'm asking him questions about his business, and in the back end, I'm just messing with the AI, and I'm like, "Can I show you something?" And I'm like, "Here, play with this." And like, I wasn't trying to sell him or anything, and he's playing with it. At first, he's like, whatever. And then I just like see his eyes light up. He's like, "Dude, this thing's really cool. Like, is this like ready to go to market?" And I was like, "Oh, almost, let me, tweak it, whatever." Like, I really wasn't trying to sell him.
And what is he playing with, the AI employee?
AI employee, yeah, like he's playing with, the text version of it. And then we get off the call. I don't remember exactly how it ended, but it wasn't like, "Oh, let me sell you this thing." It was, "Okay, cool, man. If you have any other feedback, let me know." But he blew my phone up like that whole weekend. Like, "Dude, you have that?" He's like, I just talked to my boss, and it was like a franchise of like a roofing company. He's like, "We really think we can need this. Can you show this to all the people?" And I was like, "Dang, okay." So I showed him. And then, of course, once you show people, like, it's like witnessing magic for the first time. If you've ever not seen an AI employee, but then you see a good one, it's like, oh my gosh. So we got that. Then from there, we actually started doing networking events again, which I despise. Like, I like to talk, but like, I'm an introvert, man. Like, after Level Up this week, I'm gonna go back into a little hole and like recharge my batteries. But we started going to networking events, and just in the exchange, "What do you do?" And I'm learning about their business. Then when they ask what we do, it's like, "Oh, well, how are you getting traffic again here?" Well, we basically follow up with those leads so you don't have to. And the cool thing is, nobody can tell we're not using a human. We're actually getting people to book appointments, estimates, jobs, whatever it is that you do. We're even collecting prepaid appointments. So that's what we do. Like, super nonchalant, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And like, "Here's my card, let me talk." So I mean, we've snagged some from networking events. I really feel like they're back when you're an AI person.
Yeah.
From there, whether we close somebody or they refer somebody to us, everybody's always excited to see it. And then the other thing that I've been teaching a lot is, I went back to my old school ways of when I first started my marketing agency. My first client, the Dr. Hoover that I got, I sent a Loom video to him. And like, it's funny because I still have that Loom video, and I had such a like hood twang Houston accent to me. And I'm like, I can't believe he gave me a shot. But I still send those Loom videos. So I'll go find the Facebook ads library, and we will literally just find somebody running ads. I'll reach out to them like, "Hey, I somehow stumbled across your ads. Looks like they are getting leads, but they're not turning into paying customers. So like, I don't want to run your ads for you, but I have a new tool that can make sure more of those leads turn into paying jobs. So if that sounds cool, would love to get 10 to 15 minutes of your time." And like, super nonchalant. And then people are like, "What do you got?" Like, so we've got clients from Looms, and then he took the same approach and started doing it with cold calling, which cold calling is not for the faint of heart. I don't like it. But he was kind of doing the same thing, and he would call. He had a really cool opener. He's like, "Hey, this is a cold call. I'm gonna pitch your business. You can either, tell me to kick rocks right now, or you can give me 30 seconds." And like, "I'll give you 30 seconds." It's like, "All right." So I saw you were running ads. You're not the same spiel.
Yeah.
And then people were actually like setting up meetings, and we're like, I mean, he closed the client from cold call. You closed the client from cold call. Like, because the technology is so new, and it also solves such a big problem of like, I don't want to follow up my leads. Like, there's no shortage of where you can go to get these clients right now. The only prerequisite is like, they must be getting traffic, and I know I can help them. So,
Well, the AI thing, it's still a big buzz everywhere, and small business owners know they need to do something about it.
yeah.
So it's like on top of their minds anyway.
Yeah.
Is that what you're seeing across the board when you talk to these
Absolutely. And I'm a big copywriting nut. Gary Halbert always used to talk about, or actually even back to Eugene Schwartz, used to always talk about, no one person or one company has enough money to channel or create the desire for something. However, but with like OpenAI and Google and like the amount of money that's being poured into AI collectively, it is now top of everybody's mind. And you're absolutely right. Every business owner is hearing about it. They know they should probably be using it, whether they're scared to or not. But they have no clue where to start. And it's funny because we run around the circle of marketers, and like, we think, "Oh, this has been around forever. Everybody knows about it." No, like, we could walk down the street to like 5 businesses. I bet 0 of them are actually using anything beyond basic ChatGPT, have no clue AI employees exist. And if you're the first person to show that to them, I mean, literally, like I said, I even bought a wand for like ads, because I was like, it's literally like magic. Like, I feel like I'm showing them fire for the first time.
So from 40 customers with the AI business, like what are you guys doing now? Like, how well is it doing? How much money are y'all making, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so we're probably making roughly, I mean, because the first 22 clients, I will be honest, like we sold them at a low rate because we didn't even know how
The
valuable the
beta
AI.
customers.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean, it was like 197, 297 each. So we're probably doing roughly 30, maybe $40,000 a month, probably closer to the 30 side with AI employees. But again, me being the overshare and like just excited, I started talking about how we're crushing it with these AI employees and like how it's the easiest thing I've ever sold. And like, I truly believe that. Can't say everybody will have that same experience, but like, that being said, a lot of marketers do follow me and they were asking like, how do you do this? What are you doing? And the cool thing about what we're doing is we've documented everything. Like we have pretty much every sales call, all that stuff. And we started sharing these resources with other marketers and they're like, I'm getting the result too. Like, holy crap, this whole Loom thing, reaching out to people actually worked. I'm like, dude, I'm not just saying it. Like it works if you do it. So we've actually kind of started teaching a lot of marketers, and
Oh, wow.
that wasn't by choice. Like we did not try to get into that arena, but so many people were coming to us, hearing about it, that we started a community for marketers, teaching how to do this.
Wow.
So, and that's probably honestly the bigger business for us right now. We're maintaining clients, and then we'll take referrals, but we're not actively pursuing agency clients or AI clients unless we have a new industry that we want to build for our community, if that makes
Gotcha.
sense.
So tell us about the community. What's happening there?
Yeah, so we have a community called CEO Lab, and basically we have built bots for 20 industries now. We built bots for 20 different industries, and these people have paid us literally thousands of dollars, up to $15,000 for our life insurance build that we did, and we made them all available for like $1 each, like basically the snapshot, because you guys make it so easy to share stuff. But basically, we're just giving the tools and resources to other marketers, because to me, like, and saying this to people that run the software company, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I don't think there's a huge need to learn like all the tech until you
no.
start going out and getting clients. Like,
No,
so,
absolutely not.
Okay.
Go get on the phones and dial.
yeah, so I'm like, all you need is a HighLevel account. You know, whether if you're new, start with a trial, but like just go talking to people, and then we provide all the resources for you to fulfill it. And then the community is mainly about like what we're doing in a day-to-day, like how we got these clients. And like I said, when we go prospecting, it's merely to build a new prospecting channel to show other marketers like other ways of doing things, or to build for other industries. So we're basically just relaying our expertise. And I'm big about like, I want to prove that it can be done and it's actively working, rather than like, oh yeah, this thing works hopefully for y'all. So basically just kind of relaying like our experiences with this and like the things we're seeing in the field so other people can recreate it. Because I truly feel like, I don't know if this is the right term, but like this is like the new gold rush. It's so cliche, but God, there's never going to be another time like this. Like 2 years from now, probably less, everybody will have this and this opportunity will be gone.
So for the folks that are watching and they're new to AI, they're new to the agency world, or they don't even have their first customers yet, what are some lessons that you would share with someone brand new?
Yeah. Honestly, somebody brand new, I think a lot of times like we get stuck in the tech and like thinking, honestly, imposter syndrome is a huge thing. Like we think we don't know enough to go out there and like help a business with something. So again, the biggest advice I could give anybody is you can sit all like learning all these workflows. Honestly, there's probably 90% of the HighLevel base knows more about HighLevel than me. I just know the things that I need to like provide a solution to my customers. So I would just go out there and start talking to these customers and then getting real life feedback of what they're saying and like really dial in that messaging to the customer. The other thing I would say, anybody starting, I personally don't think there's anything easier to sell than AI employees right now, because like I said, it's so new and it's just not very common out there. Yes, all these other platforms are building agentic stuff and like, you know, it kind of helps, but there's no person to like sit there and hand hold them, set this up for their particular business and really dial it in. And because AI is so top of mind of business owners, it's a cheat code right now. You don't have to convince somebody they need AI. Like the business owner, the right business owners, they know it and they're just waiting for that person that they can trust to do that. So that starts with a conversation. That doesn't start with, let me show you my workflows or anything like that. So just get out in the field and start talking to people, get them to pay you, and nothing will set a fire under your butt like somebody paying you money to deliver something. You're gonna figure it out anyways.
Yeah. Also, another phenomenon that we're seeing is feature niching, where they cater to everybody, but they only focus on one offer.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about that? Because previously you had the
Super niche,
chiropractors, and now it's like feature niching, right? Can
Yeah.
you kind of unpack that?
Yeah, so I think niching is important in one degree or another. So yeah, either feature niching, which for us the last like year and a half was AI employee for somebody that's running ads, and we've worked in 20 industries. I also, despite being what everybody would probably consider successful selling these AI employees and running an AI agency, I feel like we still would have been more successful if we focused on like one particular niche, which is probably what we'll do going forward. But niching down basically just allows you to have better language when you're talking to somebody. So if I was talking to, let's just say you're a chiropractor, specifically red light therapy for body contouring, the things that are important to you are like super important. I can get very specific or hyper specific talking about those things to where you immediately know like, okay, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm comfortable, he can build this for me. So I do like hyper niching down industry, but you certainly could with AI employees right now niche down to just that feature. And I also think that's important because when you're not trying to be everything to everybody, you get really good at one thing. And again, language and how you talk about it's going to be better. You get faster at implementing it, and things are just simpler. And like I said, the hardest part for me was saying yes to everything and then figuring it out on the back end. And that will get you a lot of places, but it's it's a roller coaster. Like it is a roller coaster of emotions. So if you can feature niche, at least to start, and just provide that one solution to, solve one problem, you will go further faster. I mean, it's just a mental bandwidth thing.
Yeah, I love that. Jeff, can you share a little bit about where you are as a person? You let go of the old agency. You have a new AI company that's crushing it. You've got now people learning from you, peers in the marketing world. Like, how do you feel? Like,
Yeah, I honestly, I've been asking myself the same question for the last few months. Things have happened so fast. It's really cool, but like I'm slowly starting to feel like at peace, which is kind of a weird thing to say, because when I first saw the AI and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the future, and we started getting into it, I still was feeling like, oh my God, I'm behind the 8 ball. Like I'm seeing like the Jonathan Mass out there and Julia McCoy's, and like they're like on top of every last little thing AI, and like even though we were getting clients and making a lot of money, I'm still like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be wiped out. Like we're not learning fast enough. And there was like this real franticness with me and even the team because of that. But now like I finally really understand that again, going back to my roots of what I would teach anybody is like niching down to one specific thing, just trying to be one thing to one person and being the best at it. I feel really great, and it's also allowed me more time and bandwidth to, we have an agency, but we're also able to share that with other people, and there's a lot of fulfillment that comes with that. Again, just at peace is probably the best way that I could say it, because from exiting the agency to getting into AI, it was mood swings, like just not knowing if I made the right decision, not knowing if I'm like on top of this stuff enough, but now it's like I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah, I love that. Speak to the brand new entrepreneurs that are starting out as we kind of close out our segment today. I think every time I do one of these podcasts, I learn so many new things about leadership, and I see how different leaders do different things to build up other leaders and build up the team and build up different business models and then scale it and then exit, then start a new thing. Like, speak to the new people that are in this world of marketing and AI and SaaS.
Yeah. So the biggest thing I can say is don't beat yourself up too much. Like the thing I see most common with all the marketers that we work with is everybody has some degree of imposter syndrome, myself included. Like you guys asked me to speak at HighLevel, and I'm like, me? Like I still don't even feel like I'm doing crazy things.
I'm like, where are the slides? And you're changing it up 5 times.
Well, yeah, sorry. Just trying to make sure it's good.
But that's normal, right? Because we're like, we want to over deliver.
So that imposter syndrome is never going to go away. I think if you can learn really early on that you don't need to know everything, and you'll learn the things that you need to learn as that time comes. But to me, the biggest important thing when starting any business is going out there and talking to the people that you can serve or help. Because again, that language pattern is going to start to stick with you. You're going to start to see when you say something in a certain way, people's eyes light up, or when you say something in a different way and they're like, what? Or like, it just didn't hit. And when you start to find that pattern of like the things that make people light up and like, oh, that can actually help my business, you start to see their wheels turning. That will do more for you than mastering workflows, mastering every last little feature, which by the way, you guys come out with so many features. It's so hard to keep up, but it's a good thing.
You don't need all of it.
Yeah, you don't. So like find your few things that you can do. And that sounds crazy because I know we want to do all-in-one CRM. If we're everything to everybody, we'll make the most money. I had that idea going into this, but I quickly learned the less I provide that still gets the result, the better it is for all parties involved. It's easier for me. My phone's not ringing as much because things don't break as often. My client gets the result faster, and that's all people care about. So focus on the future that you're creating for that person or your client, and don't worry about the features or what, and try to make it as simple as possible. Like that would be my biggest advice.
I love it, Jeff. Well, we're so grateful that you spent some time with us sharing your personal story and the good, the bad, the ugly, the blessings, the progression, the celebrations, everything. We're so excited to kind of watch this whole thing now go on a new round of growth. For those of you that are watching this segment, I hope this was helpful to you. This inspires you. Any last words, Jeff?
I'm just gonna keep plugging away, working as hard as I can with my partner Charles, and I'm aiming for that big stage next year. So that's my last words.
You guys you won some awards this year. I think you did, right?
Not this year. We got like affiliate and
next
gold
year.
last year and stuff. So
affiliate award. Okay, got it. Okay, well, awesome. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now. We just had a great time shooting a recording for the Case Studies project. Hope it inspires you.